Yes, good morning, all of you. So, today we will be starting new chapter financial statements of not for profit organization. See, last year you have studied financial statements of proprietorship, where there is a single businessman, sole proprietor is there, he is undertaking all the activities, and the motive was to earn profit. This year you have learned financial statements of partnership firm and various adjustments regarding admission of partner, retirement of partner. Then you have learned financial statements of company also. Now, these all are organizations, proprietorship, partnership, or company. These all have profit earning motive. But there are various organizations which do not have profit motive. However, they are undertaking various activities, and for completion of any activity, you need some finance. So obviously, they will also be preparing their financial statements. They will also be having some business activities due to which they will be also generating some surplus. But their motive is not to earn the profit. Their motive is simple, uh, that they should provide the services to its members or to the society as per the nature of the NGO. You might have heard about various NGOs also. Now see what is the meaning of not-for-profit organization. These are set up with the objective to further cultural, educational, health, religious, public services to public or its members. So their objective is not to earn the profit. Their objective is to um, just provide services related to cultural events, educational institutions, or hospitals. So you might have found in your locality also that there are various organizations in temples, gurudwaras, which are undertaking such activities. For example, schools, colleges, public hospitals, literary societies, societies for promotion of sports, arts and culture, social welfare organizations, clubs. So these are actually organizations, but these are performing various activities not for the purpose of earning profit. Their motive may be one of these. Some may be having the motive of providing education. Some may be having the providing medical services at reasonable prices or free of cost. Some are promoting literature. So various activities they are undertaking. Funds required for the activities of a not-for-profit organization are contributed by its members, trustees, etc. as donations, membership fees, and subscriptions. So now each and every organization needs some finance. So for proprietorship or partnership, or you can say company, the owners will invest the capital for its functioning. But in not-for-profit organizations, who will contribute money? So obviously, the people who are becoming member in that organization, they will contribute the money. Like you can take the example of Rotary Club or Lions Club. Their members contribute money for their functioning, or sometimes some NGOs, government, or any other part section of the society, any individual, they also donate for such purposes. So donation, like in temples, you will find that donation is a major source for funding. So such organizations get donations or contribution from their members, that is known as membership fees or subscription. The amount contributed by members of the organization for the functioning of the organization is termed as subscription. Then funds received by not-for-profit organizations may be, what type of funds a not-for-profit organization may be receiving, from where they will be getting their funds. so that they can function properly. So in the form of donations they receive, anyone can give donation to them. Then membership fees or entrance fees. If someone wants to become the member in that organization, some fees will be charged as entrance fee. Subscription, the amount contributed by members of the organization for its functioning, that is known as subscription. Then loans, they can also take loans. And grants from government or institutions. Government also gives some grants to such organizations, or any institution may also give some grant for this purpose. Now, characteristics or features of not-for-profit organization. So first is entity. So obviously, like a company, this organization is also a legal entity, and it is separate from its promoters or its members. Like in the case of company, last year you have studied in BST one chapter, forms of business organization. So you might have read their cooperative societies. So it is also like a society. Purpose, I have already told that their purpose is something not to earn profit but to provide services in different areas. Like some may be providing educational services, some may be providing health services, religious activities, and various other activities will be undertaken like that. Then ownership. So it is set up as a charitable society or trust. So you will get your society registered under the Societies Act, and its purpose is charitable. So ownership is not with the single one. Obviously, some promoters will be there. Profit is not the objective. Surplus is necessary to maintain its assets and also operation. So profit is not the objective, but obviously when they will be undertaking some activities, then they will be having some sort of surplus also. So, but that surplus is required for maintaining the assets of the society, or you can say organization, and also for the functioning of the organization. Like suppose the Lions Club has organized some health camp. So they will be providing free medicines or free consultation there. But some part of the society or some sections of the society or some individuals will always contribute for that purpose. So whatever they are spending, might be they are getting donation more than that, and that's why they will be having some surplus from that activity. Then management. So it is managed by a group of individuals. Obviously, each and every organization needs some management. Like in company, board of directors will be managing each and everything of the company. So here, a group of individuals will be managing the whole of the affairs of the organization, and the members which are in managing committee is generally known as trustees also. Then funds are provided by its members and donors. So either they will be getting funds from the donation or by the members itself. Financial statements. So it prepares financial statements every year, which includes receipts and payment account, income and expenditure account, and the balance sheet. So these are the financial statements of a society, or you can say not-for-profit organization. Now, what is the difference between not-for-profit organization and profit-earning organization? So obviously, first difference is regarding purpose. The purpose of profit-earning organization is to earn profit, but for not-for-profit organization, the purpose is undertaking some cultural, religious, or you can say educational, health, or some other similar activity. Then what are the sources of funds? So obviously in the not-for-profit organization, the donors and the members will contribute the money. Government may give the grants. So that will be the source of fund. Then in case of profit earning organization, obviously the owners, proprietors, partners will contribute the capital. Or in case of companies, the shareholders will be contributing the capital of the organization. Then Next is financial statements. So their financial statements are receipt and payment account, then income and expenditure account and balance sheet. However, the financial statements of any profit earning organization will be having a trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Now, balance of income and expenditure account. See, income and expenditure account is just similar to profit and loss account of the profit earning organization, almost same. And whatever profit you are generating in income and expenditure account, that is technically termed as surplus. And if you are having some loss, that is termed as deficit. But in profit and loss, you will be calculating the profit or loss. Then in proprietorship or partnership, whatever the profit you have earned, that will be distributed among the partners. Or if you are having company form of organization, then whatever the profit is generated, it will be distributed as dividend. Some part of it will be distributed as dividend, and rest will be kept in reserves. But in case of not-for-profit organization, the profit is not distributed among its members. It will always be kept in the organization itself for the further completion of activities. Because the motive is not to earn the profit and distribute the profit among the members. That is not the motive. Now next is financial statements of not-for-profit organization. So receipts and payment account, income and expenditure account, and balance sheet. These are the financial statements of not-for-profit organization. These three are the financial statements. Now first we will discuss the receipt and payment account. So it is a summary of cash receipts and payments during an accounting period. Suppose you are receiving rupees 50,000 as subscription every month from your members. So what journal entry you will do when you are receiving subscription? Chat box is open. You can tell me in the chat box. Suppose a not-for-profit organization is receiving rupees 50,000 as subscription from its members. So what journal entry you will be doing for receiving the subscription? Okay. Okay. Yes, very good. Because we are receiving subscription, and subscription is a sort of income for the not-for-profit organization. So income will be credited. The journal entry will be bank account debit to subscription account. Bank account debit to subscription account. This will be the journal entry. Suppose this entry we have done with the amount of 50,000 in the month of April. Then in the month of May, again we will be receiving the subscription and we will do the same entry. So we will be recording this entry in each and every month for the whole year. Am I correct? Whenever I will be receiving premium from any member, I will be recording this journal entry. So what should be the balance in subscription account at the end of the year? If I am receiving 50,000 per month as subscription from the members, what should be the balance in subscription account at the end of the year? Yes, the more you will participate, the more you will understand about the receipt and payment account. Yes, please. So I will be receiving rupees 6 lakh in the year. Okay. And please note down these all information somewhere. So if I want to summarize these 12 entries, suppose I have passed in 12 months, 12 journal entries I have passed, bank account debit to subscription account, 50,000 each entry. So the total amount will become 6 lakh. So if I summarize it, can I record the entry here, recipient payment account debit to subscriptions account 6 lakh. Is it correct? Yes. So actually during the whole year we will record this transaction in our cash book. But at the end of the year we will summarize the all receipts and we find out that total subscription received during the year is 6 lakh. Now suppose one member has given us some advance subscription and in total we have received advance subscription rupees 40,000. What will be the journal entry for that? If I have received some subscription in advance from the members, from some of the members, then what will be the journal entry for that? Suppose 40,000 I have received total in advance. Sometimes someone has paid 5,000, someone has paid 8,000, someone has paid 10,000. In that manner, see, accrued income is the income which I have earned but I have not received. Here I am saying that we have received the subscription. I am saying that we have received the subscription. The journal entry will be same. The journal entry will be same. Bank account debit to subscription account. The journal entry will be same. Bank account debit to subscription account. Yes, obviously it is received in advance, so we can differentiate it. We can write it also to subscription received in advance also. But if somehow I am recording the same entry, bank account debit to subscription account, 40,000, then the total amount received will be 40,000, 6,40,000. Now it is correct. Here it is clear. Okay. Now one more thing which I want to highlight here. What happened that some of the members were not able to pay last year some amount of subscription. Suppose 20,000. Again, I am repeating the question. Some of the members were not able to pay their contribution as subscription last year. And the amount last year outstanding was 20,000. So that is also received in the current year from them. So if some of the members are contributing subscription with respect to the last year amount because they were not able to pay that at that time, so will I be doing the same entry now again when they will be paying bank account debit to subscription account? And suppose the amount is 20,000. So in that manner, what will happen? The total amount will become 6,60,000 during the year. Now suppose my last year is 2018-19. So for 2018-19, I have received 20,000. For 2019-20, that is suppose current year, I have received 6 lakh. And for 2020-21, suppose it is next year, for that I have received some subscription in advance, that is 40,000. So in total, I have received subscription 6,60,000 during the year, and the segregation with respect to that is that 20,000 is belonging to the last year, 6 lakh is belonging to the current year, and 40,000 is belonging to the next year. So what I want to highlight here, that there is one point written, transactions may relate to current year, previous year, or next year. All will be recorded here. So because it is cash book, we may receive cash for previous year also, we may receive cash for current year also, and we may receive cash for next year also. Similarly, I can receive donations. So if I am receiving any donation, what will be the journal entry? If I am receiving donation, what will be the journal entry? Yes, bank account debit to donations. Suppose in a year, I have received donations for 5 times. 5 times I have received the donation. And in total, I have received rupees 1 lakh as donation. In 5 transactions, I have received a total donation of rupees 1 lakh. So when I will summarize the cash book, I will write here a single entry, 2 donations, 1 lakh. So what I will be doing, I will be segregating the transactions into receipts and payments from the cash book, and similar transactions will be added and written once in the receipt and payment account in this manner. So it is just nothing, it is a summary of your cash receipts and cash payments. Similarly, if I am paying salary of rupees 5,000 per month to the employees of the organization, so in a year, total salary paid will be 60,000. So here I will compile all the expense for salary by salary account, and the total salary paid will be 60,000. Every month I am paying salary of 5,000. So obviously 12 transactions will be recorded in the cash book for payment of salary. And that way the total salary paid will become 60,000. So I hope till here the logic is clear. You can see the second point. Receipts are shown on the debit side. We have shown already. Receipts are shown on the debit side. Payments are shown in the credit side of the account. So we have shown the payment on the credit side of the account. Both revenue and capital nature items are recorded. Now see, if I have purchased furniture during the year rupees 10,000, so that entry will also come. So here I will be writing buy furniture. And it will become, suppose I have purchased it for 10,000. And suppose I have sold the old furniture, then here I will write the entry to sale of old furniture. And suppose I have sold it for 4,000. So these are capital nature items. I am purchasing furniture, I am purchasing any building, I am purchasing any other asset. So that will also be recorded. Salary is a nominal account, furniture is a real account. So both revenue and capital nature items will be recorded here. Suppose I have received the donation, that is I am recording, that is of revenue nature. But if suppose I am receiving donation, specifically 2 donations for building, that is a specific donation. Specific donation is actually capital receipt. That will also be recorded here. So like in profit and loss account, we record only nominal accounts. We record only revenue nature accounts. Only revenue expenses and revenue receipts will be recorded. Revenue incomes will be recorded. But in receipt and payment account, you will find that you will record both types of transactions. It may be capital nature transaction, it may be revenue nature transaction. But all the receipts will be recorded on the debit side and all the payments will be recorded on the credit side. Capital expenditure as well as revenue expenditure both will be recorded on the payment side. Similarly, capital receipts as well as revenue receipts both will be recorded on the debit side. And that I have already shown you that transactions relating to any time period will be recorded in the receipt and payment account. It may relate to next year, previous year or current year. So I hope receipt and payment account meaning is properly clear. Okay.